actually brand new in our business, and some of you guys are actually looking to get on board with our company and learning a little bit more about what we do. So my goal today is to help you to understand a little bit more about the line of product and services that we have, an overview of what we do and how it will fit into different people's age group and also different people's scenario. And today we're going to be exploring a little bit more on the typical profile of all the age group, right? I mean, obviously, I understand that, every one is going to have different types of scenario and everything else. But today we're going to talk a little bit more about a general profile of everybody. So let's get right into it. Okay. So financial solution overview. I'm going to be your host today. My name is Andy Pham. Some of you guys know me. Some of you guys don't. Let's talk a little bit more about some of the things that we do. And I know that some of you guys are actually brand new in our business, and some of you guys are actually looking to get on board with our company and learning a little bit more about what we do. So my goal today is to help you to understand a little bit more about the line of product and services that we have, an overview of what we do and how it will fit into different people's age group and also different people's scenario. And today we're going to be exploring a little bit more on the typical profile of all the age group, right? I mean, obviously, I understand that, every one is going to have different types of scenario and everything else. But today we're going to talk a little bit more about a general profile of everybody. So let's get right into it. Okay. So financial solution overview. I'm going to be your host today. My name is Andy Pham. Some of you guys know me. Some of you guys don't know me. I've been with the firm for 10 years. And right now we're actually hosting, have operations over different 6 cities in the US. And, one of the reasons why I came on board is because of the financial solutions and financial education. Because when I came on board with the firm, I was still working full-time in accounting. But I didn't really know how money works, and I didn't know how it could work for me. So I was very curious to learn on how some of these product and services, which one is available out there in the marketplace, and what are some of the things that I can actually utilize to help me myself. And that's when I came on board, and I was actually open to make additional income on a part-time basis. And gradually, when I start making more money here on the part-time basis than my full-time job, that's when I go full-time, And so, so that's a little bit about me, my story, how I get started. And I think that the financial solutions is very, very important. So let's dive right into it. First thing I want to talk about is what we offer in the marketplace, right? Because a lot of you guys, are very excited to get to know more about what we do. But, so this session is going to be providing you a really good ideas on what are some of the product and services we provide, and then what kind of client we are serving and how we can actually help them, right? So first of all, I want to start up with this. We provide, as a company, we provide unlimited financial education. What does that mean? That means that we, a lot of people, they come on board with our company. A lot of like the worst case scenario, they're going to learn something that will benefit them themselves, right? In terms of financial education. And secondly is that, we're going to actually help people to understand a little bit more about products, informations, and updates, right? And because a lot of time out there, people own financial products, but they have no idea what kind of product they own, and products change over time. And if they're not in the industry, they don't get updates on it, right? So by affiliating with our company, you're going to get constant product information and education, and also updates on what we do as well, on what's the new products in the marketplace. First of all is to help people to understand what they have, and also what's available out there, because if you don't know what's available out there, how can you take advantage of it, right? And then we teach people on financial knowledge and strategy. So that's very important, because financial products is out there, but at the same time, how is it suitable for you? How is it fitting into your financial picture? You need to understand a little bit more in terms of financial knowledge and strategy in order for you to, incorporate some of these product services into your own financial, your situation, right? And also, so that's on the financial side. On the business side, we provide a business opportunity for people to come on board with our company and understand a little bit more about how to make extra income, right? And just like myself, when I get started, I was just intrigued by the first point, right, which is unlimited financial education. I just wanted to learn. I just wanted to see what's out there and what I can do to help myself. But then I start seeing that there's a huge need in the marketplace and people need what we do. And that's why on a part-time basis, I was open to the idea of making part-time supplemental income with this company, right? That's how I get started more than 10 years ago. And on the business side, we by doing this on a part-time basis, you can start building your recurring residual income, and gradually as that grow more than your full-time income, then you can go full-time. And that's what I did. And I believe that the best product we have is the opportunity, is the business opportunity, because if you look at the demographic out there right now, a lot of American has a saving problem. But more importantly, it has a bigger problem, which is people don't make enough money, right? And if you think about it, if people are not making enough money, doesn't matter how good the financial product is, how good, the financial strategies and knowledge and products and things like that. If people don't have enough money to live on and live paycheck to paycheck, how can they actually save more and invest more? So we have a better solution for people. If people don't make enough money, we simply help people to find a way that they can go out there, that they can make more money so that they can save more, right? So so that's the overview of what we do. And, the first thing I want to dive into is the power of choice in terms of the selection, the choices that we have by working with our company. So these are some of the premier company that we work with. You probably see some familiar names out on there as, Nationwide, Pacific Life, Prudential, Transamerica. Some of these companies been around for 100 plus years, right? I mean, Transamerica been around for more than 100 years since 1908. And Pacific Life just celebrate their 150 years in business, right? So these companies are strong company that been around for a long time and will be around for a long time, right? And that's the kind of company that we represent, we work with. And once you become an associate with our company, you have access to an internal guide like this. And if you look at the product guide that we have, that I took a snapshot, right? If you look at the record count, it's 186 companies, right? There's 186 providers that we have access to through our platform. And that's powerful because we represent the best of the best, right? And I believe that we have the best product because we represent everybody. Okay. How about in terms of product count? So all the products that through 186 company we represent, it's coming around 372 products that we actually represent. So there's a lot of different types of products and choices, and we represent them, right? So the reason why we are doing that, because the concept of what we do is we're more like a Costco or Best Buy of financial services industry. What does that mean? That means that we simply don't just represent one product. We shop around the marketplace for the best product to put on our shelf. So our client don't have to go through the process of navigating through the things they don't need to. They don't know what to do, right? Just like Costco, that's what Costco is known for. They have a team of buyers that go out there and find the best product in the marketplace. And once you go to Costco, you find quality product with lower price, right? And so we're not loyal to the companies. We're loyal to our clients' needs and objectives. What does that mean? That means that what we do is we focus on helping people to, we're loyal to our clients and needs and objectives. So basically, we are focusing on helping our clients to reach their financial goals. So I'm not loyal to one company. Like, I'm not working with one company product only. I work with a lot of different companies, and depending on the client's situation, I find the best products that actually fit into the client's needs and objectives. And we can actually simply do the right thing and not being punished for it. So what does that mean? That means that, if you work for a company that only represent one product, and what if that product doesn't fit your client needs and objective? You still have to do it. If you don't do it, you're going to get fired, right? So in our company, we don't have to. Even though we're part of Transamerica, we do not have to represent just Transamerica product. We can represent a lot of different companies out there as well. So we can find the right solutions for our clients. We can do the right thing for them and not being punished for it, right? And different, quite frankly, different clients' situation require different financial products and solutions, right? There's not a one size. There's no company. There's no like a one size fit all company, right? Especially in financial products and solutions, and a lot of companies out there, they just have one product and then they push it to everybody, and that's not right, right? Because there's no one size fit all kind of strategy. It has to tailor made into the individual, and for them to do the best for our clients, because we look to do the right thing to stay in business for long term, right? Because we realize that if we do the right thing, in the long run, people will see what we do, and people will understand what we do, and they can actually support us and give us referral, and that's how we're going to grow in this business. Right, so that's the power of choice. So before I get started, I want to touch on the 6 steps of financial needs analysis. So we look at these 6 things to help people to evaluate their current financial situation. First of all, we look at their cash flow, right? Do they have a budget? How do they manage their expenses? Are they paying too much for certain things, right? Can they reduce some stuff and save more, right? And quite frankly, if they're not making enough money to save, then one of the ways is to earn additional income so that they can save more, right? And the second step is to help debt management, right? In terms of consolidate debt and also eliminate debt. So they can actually pay off their debt a little bit sooner and get out of debt quicker so that they can start accumulate money, right? And we talk about emergency fund, right? So save at least 3 to 6 months of income. So prepare for the unexpected expenses, right? Just like this COVID-19 situation, a lot of people, they're actually realize the importance of emergency fund after they're experiencing some of the drawback from this situation, because a lot of time people are not prepared and they think that times are going to be good always, right? And that's sometimes not the case. And the next thing is proper protection, is that how to protect against loss of income and protect family assets, right? And then also build wealth, how we can actually strive to outpace inflation and reduce taxes, right? So after having a lot of protection, proper protection along the way when they're building wealth, then we help them to get better rate of return, and how is it that they can actually reduce taxes. And then last but not least is preserve wealth, right? After people build this wealth, and now is the time for them to find a way to reduce taxation when they pass their legacy to the next generation. And that's what we help them with the 6 steps of financial needs analysis. Okay, so overall product suites that we have. So I want to start up with the referral program that we have. So when you become an associate with our company, and you're not licensed yet, you're not life and health licensed and securities licensed, you can still make money by working on a referral basis. So there's a few referral providers that we have that you can actually make money without requiring to have a license. So one of the company we work with is on the debt management side, is Debtmerica. So Debtmerica help people to consolidate their debt into one account and actually help negotiate with all these creditors to reduce the payment, and so help you to get out of debt a little bit sooner, right? And so by you refer people into this company, and this company help them, you can actually make money getting out of debt sooner. We also work with a company called Bolt. So Bolt is a property and casualties company. So normally, just like Allstate, State Farm, it's car insurance, home insurance, pet insurance, things like that. Normally, you have to have a property and casualties license to provide this kind of insurance. But with our company, we partner up with Bolt. So they are licensed in property and casualty, but for our associate, they don't have to be licensed. They can just refer people into Bolt, and then Bolt can actually help our clients to find the best product and services that fit them. And once they do so, then you can actually get paid on a referral basis as well. Okay, so what kind of insurance are we talking about? Home, car, pet, umbrella. So you can actually start making money with this, with referring people into this kind of products already. And the next thing we talk about is Legacy Shield, right? So Legacy Shield is an estate planning network of attorneys, and so we can actually, um, a lot of people, they have estate planning needs, and so there's a network of attorney that actually can help with drafting the will and trust and power of attorney and things like that. So once you connect people with Legacy Shield, and the attorneys in this network actually help your clients, then you can actually get paid on the referral basis. Okay. So next solutions, some of the solutions that we have next is actually requiring you to have a license, right? Initial license, a life and health license. So life insurance, the first products is we talk about life insurance products is, all kinds of life insurance products, term, permanent life insurance with tax-free growth, which is, a saving program inside of a life insurance as well. So this is, one of the very basic and also essential products for a lot of different people. So to protect families from devastating situation, right? In terms of when they're building their wealth and they have a lot of responsibility, what if they die prematurely? Then can protect families from devastating situation. Income replacement of premature death, right? And also pass on a legacy to the next generation as well. So so this can serve a purpose for multiple different people and different needs. Some people need to replace their responsibility or their income when if they die prematurely. And then some people, they need protection in case of devastating situation like accidents or long-term care or things that they cannot continue to work to actually take care of themselves. And some people, they use this to create a legacy, to pass on a legacy to the next generation, right? And so all of that can be helpful as well. You can also use this program to grow your assets tax-free, right? So a lot of different vehicle out there that you save money, you will get tax on your gains. But inside of a life insurance, that's one of the vehicles that you can actually grow your assets tax-free. And we can actually talk a little bit more about how that will fit into different people's situation as well. And also with we provide long-term care, right? So we provide different long-term care solutions. Why is long-term care important nowadays? Is because a lot of people nowadays, they need to hedge against the risk of high long-term care costs at old age, right? And statistics show that most people eventually will need long-term care in their life because of the longer life expectancy nowadays. And statistics show that 7 out of 10 people eventually will need long-term care at some point in their life. And the cost of long-term care, I don't know, in different states, but in California, it's quite high. It's about $80,000 on average a year for someone that needing long-term care. And in the U.S., average is in the 70, high 60, low 70 range as well. And so that's pretty expensive. And it's actually the number one reason that's going to deplete someone's entire assets, right? So a lot of people, they get into a long-term care situation and they can't pay for it, and ended up they have to actually start selling the house, selling their asset, and then paying for long-term care toward the end of their life, and then leave nothing for their kids, right? So this is one of the things that is very, very important nowadays, and people have great interest on that. And also disability, right? So we help with different types of disability for higher income earner, and also for professionals like doctors and dentists and things like that, because their income is pretty much based on their ability to perform service, and if they get disabled, then they cannot have the income coming in anymore. So there's different types of disability income solutions that we can actually help clients as well. And another thing is called the Everest, right? Everest is one of the programs that exclusively distributed through our company. You cannot get this program anywhere else, except for if you work for one of this big tech company like Google, Apple, Facebook, things like that, then you have access to that. But outside of that, in the marketplace, Everest is exclusive through WFG, right? And so what is it? It's a funeral concierge service that roll into a life insurance plan, right? So you know that there's a big life insurance plan that will pay out, but it's going to pay out in a month or two, right, after someone's dead, because basically they have to get a death certificate and things like that. But with Everest, they provide two things. They provide a smaller life insurance, but actually pay out very quickly. It's pay out within 48 hours. Because funerals still have to happen and everything else. Also, they have a 24/7 funeral concierge service to help your family to navigate through this tough time. And a lot of people, they get taken advantage of when they actually go through the funeral planning process, because this is new to them, number one. Number two is that they don't know what else to they don't know what to expect. And funeral home, they actually ripping people off because they don't know the prices and things like that. So they have a 24/7 funeral concierge service to help the client to actually learning and also navigate through some of this tough time and plan for the funeral as well. Quick payout death benefit will pay out within 48 hours as well. Okay, so another things that we help people to do is annuities, right? Or in terms of personal pension plan. So a lot of people that get approaching their retirement and they have a nest egg, and they're actually looking for a solutions for for their retirement, to protect their retirement, right? And so they're looking for these three things. So number one is that they're looking for guaranteed principal protection, which is protecting against market risk, right? So a lot of people, they're looking for a solution where they can actually protect their money from the market risk, that they don't lose money when the market's down. And secondly is they're looking for something called guaranteed minimum rate of return to protect the money against inflation risk, right? And guaranteed income for life to protect them against longevity risk. So a lot of people out there, they're looking for these three things when it comes to they're getting closer to their retirement, and so that's something that a lot of people, they're looking for, and that's what we provide with these solutions for people that actually approach it at their retirement. If you talk to people who are actually, if you're 50 and above, and you have a sizable 401k or retirement account, right? And right now the market is volatile and you're getting very close to your retirement. Wouldn't you want to have this three guarantee in your retirement program, nest egg, right? So that's the kind of solution that we provide for people. Also, we provide professional asset management on the security side, right? So obviously, in order for you to provide this to your client, you have to be licensed in securities, right? And so we work with third-party money managers to provide comprehensive and professionally managed portfolio. So we don't manage the portfolio directly. We work with a lot of professional money managers that they manage billions and billions of dollars, and managing money is all they do, right? And they can actually, they spend millions of dollars on information, and they have staff, and they can actually do a lot of research on the market and make the right financial decision for the clients. And that's what we work with. We partner up with a lot of these third-party money managers to provide a comprehensive and professionally managed portfolio. And I can tell you that a lot of the traditional industry, a lot of people, they don't have access to this service because of the higher minimum, right? And so if you, out there, it's common to see that if you don't have $250,000, if you don't have $500,000, you cannot have some of these third-party money managers to manage your money, right? And so with our company, we want to bring that concept from Wall Street to Main Street, right? So we actually, you can actually get some of these professional money managers to manage your money for as little as $25,000, right? So this is suitable for someone who want to grow their assets in the market, but they also, just because you're in the market doesn't mean that you have to take all the risk, right? You can actually manage your risk by working with third-party money managers to manage your money. And like I said, there's a low minimum of only $25,000 to get started with this professional asset management program. So it's actually really great. If you're in the industry, this is an awesome thing, right? So now I kind of highlight all the product services already. I want to start talking about, starting out in your 20s. So I want to, the format is going to be, I want to talk about the typical profile of different age group, and then I'm going to provide a typical solutions, right? It doesn't mean that there's a one size fit all solution to everybody, but typically that's how I mean, these people need to look into some of this program to find out which one is going to be the best suitable for them. So starting out from your 20s, here's the typical profile. Responsibilities such as student loans and credit cards are often at their highest when your cash flow is at its lowest, right? So it's important to have a strategy to manage or eliminate your debt. So now's the time to establish a budget, right, and stick to it. In order to manage your expenses and increase your cash flow, eliminating debt and building an emergency fund are one of the top priorities. So, I think one of the things that are very important is that, people at this group is really important for them to establish a habit on having a budget, and also, start managing debt, right, and eliminating the debt so that, they can actually start building an emergency fund are one of the top priority. So I want to share with you this concept. It's called an X curve, right? So X curve, this concept, this graphic shows that in general, when you are young, you have many responsibility and are only in the beginning stages of building wealth. And conversely, as you grow older, you have fewer responsibilities and have probably accumulated more wealth, right? So if you look at this this chart right here, when you were younger, you have less money, right? But you have a lot of responsibility, especially if you're starting to have kids in your 20s, marry and have kids in your early 20s. I mean, I see a lot of people do that as well. And right off college, they get married, have kids, right? So at that time, they don't have a lot of wealth, but they have a lot of responsibility, right? They have their mortgage, they have the kids that looking to go and, they have to take care of. So there's a gap in wealth and responsibility. That's when they need a lot of insurance. That's when insurance will take care of them if anything catastrophic will happen during that time, right? And then as they get older, insurance will actually serve as a different purpose. Like, for example, at this point where they have less responsibility, their house paid off, their kids off to college and move out and everything else, and they have a lot of more wealth, right? In that time, insurance is gonna help to actually take care of different types of, like long-term care and pass on to the next generation, right? Create a legacy to pass on the wealth to the next generation as well. So insurance is needed in all stages of life, but for people in their 20, one of the things that will actually help them the most is actually the insurance, in order for them to take care of the gap in their wealth and responsibility that they have, at least until the point where they're financially independent, right? So next, I want to talk about different types of solutions out there, right? So what are some solutions for the people in their 20s? So first of all is that, they can actually eliminate debt, right? So if they have a lot of debt, they should look into eliminating those debts. And secondly is build up an emergency fund, right? Start a saving habit, big or small. And I'm glad that I got started with this company at a young age, because one thing that really taught me is when I started when I was 22 years old, it helped me to start a saving habit. At that time, I can only save $100 a month. And, but because of that habit, I continuously saving, and I see my account grow. And actually, when I start making more money, I start saving more money. And now we're saving several $1,000s a month, right? And so, build up a emergency fund, start a saving habit, big or small, at 20s is very crucial. Start out with a permanent life insurance with long-term care and tax-free growth. Okay. Why is that? Is because, the younger the person is, the more time he or she has to accumulate, right? So, and that's very important that, if they are able, insurance is cheapest at a younger age. If ultimately the clients will need insurance, it's best to start early, right? So even if right now they haven't got married, own a home yet, but ultimately they're going to need to have insurance to cover some of those responsibility. If they can, insurance is cheaper as a younger age, so they can actually start early and start accumulating money in permanent life insurance program with long-term care and tax-free growth, so that they can actually, the longer they accumulate, then the more money they're going to have in the future. And consider learning how to add an additional stream of income, right? And the people in their 20s, I think that nowadays people cannot, rely on one source of income anymore. And when people in their 20s, they have the most amount of energy, their mind is still fresh to actually start learning and everything else. It's the best time for people to learn how to add an additional stream of income into their life, right? And so we also can actually help them to do that. And I'm a product of that. I starting out, working, but at the same time, I want to learn more about how to increase my income. So I start this on a part-time basis and ultimately move full-time, right? Establish yourself in 30s. So here's the typical profile for people in their 30s. So as your income grows, perhaps along with the start of a young family, right, you can begin to look beyond debt to building wealth and protecting loved ones with proper insurance coverage, right? So when people have a young family and they have house, they have kids, then definitely insurance is very important. Typically at this age, right, most people are married, have kids, and own a home, right? Earnings might be higher at this age, but also expenses for childcare, lifestyle, traveling, things like that as well. So people start making more money, but also their lifestyle, their expenses also going up as well because of kids, and I have 2 kids myself, so I know how expensive that is, right? Many challenges when starting a family, but this is also a prime time of earning power, right? Many people move up in their jobs and start making decent incomes, right? So, but however, there's more liability, right? Less assets because they're just starting out. They start own a home, have kids. So there's a lot of liability in terms of, debt and also responsibility, as it's still the beginning of the accumulation phase. This is the best time to explore different financial products for tax diversification. So we'll be touching on some of this concept as we go along the way as well. The next thing is I want to touch on is a concept called the cost of waiting, right? So people in their 30s, this is absolute time that when they start making more money, instead of increasing a lot of their lifestyle, they should start looking into saving money, because if they continue to procrastinate or wait, then, it's going to actually cost them a lot of money. Most people don't think about the cost of waiting, right? So this chart will show you how waiting will actually cost you a lot of money in the future, because you can have time or you can have money, right? You need to have both. And if you don't have a lot of money, you better have a lot of time. If you don't have a lot of time, you better have a lot of money, right? So this chart showing you that at a hypothetical 5% tax deferred account that you're saving, let's say if you want to retire at 65, right? And right now you're 25 years old and you have 40 years to save. In 40 years, you only need to save $655 a month to get to $1 million retirement goal, right? If you're 45 and you only have 20 years left, now you need to save $2,432 a month to get to the same number. What if you're 55 years old? You only have 10 years, right? Now you have to save $6,439 a month just to get to the same amount of goal, right? And how about if you're 60 years old, you only have 5 years left? Then you need to save $14,700 a month to get to $1 million retirement goal, right? And obviously, this chart shows you that the earlier you save, the less you have to save, and if you don't have a saving habit, if people don't have a saving habit, and they, I don't see anyone that save nothing and then the next morning they wake up and they say, hey, I can save $5,000 a month, right? That's a very tough things to do. Just kind of like when you go to the gym, you don't go to the gym the first day and you lift 300 pounds, right? You lift, you start up with something small and light, and then you actually creating a habit, and then you can actually be a little bit more disciplined. Same thing with saving, right? You have to start. If you cannot save 2, 3, 4, $500 a month, then how is it that you can save $2, 3, $4,000 a month? That's going to be very, very tough, right? So that's what we want to touch on. Also, in terms of different solutions, we talk about, so this is some of the solutions in people in their 30s. So protection, first of all, term life insurance is a very minimum that they need to get, right? If they have a loan, they have debt, if they have a mortgage, if they have kids, at the very minimum, they need to have some sort of life insurance. At the very minimum, it's a term life insurance, right? To protect term liability like student loans, right? And mortgage. If you have a 30 years mortgage, at least at a very minimum, you need to have a 30 years term life insurance that cover, your mortgage. If anything happened to you prematurely, then the life insurance will be paying off the mortgage, so your family doesn't have to, right? And then if they can't afford it, permanent life insurance plus long-term care is oftentimes a better options, right? It's good to start having permanent life insurance and long-term care at this age in the 30s because the clients are still relatively young, right? Lower cost of insurance and more likelihood of getting a better health rating. Because, life insurance is also things that actually, if you get it earlier, the better it is. Because, you more than likely have a better health when you're in your 20s, 30s, right? And then, you never know when it's going to have something called uninsurability event that's going to happen, right? Let's say if someone got diagnosed with cancer, then all of a sudden they cannot